What's going on, y'all? It's the Kid J Nolan here. Hey man, before we get into anything in this video, make sure that you like and share it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you get all updates. Hit the post notification bell. All right, y'all, let's get into it. All right, y'all. So it's been spoken about Gervonta Davis for quite some time that people believe that he is a domestic abuser. We really don't have much to go off of in those allegations. And his charges were actually just dropped in his most recent domestic violence case. So let's get into the details of what happened. And this is kind of why it's a sensitive subject to talk about these types of issues. It's very sensitive to try to hold people accountable and to the fire for these types of things before you really get all the facts and before indictments are actually made, sentencings in jail or prison and all of that type of stuff, because you just really never know what happened unless you were there in the room. So boom, here we have it. Gervonta Davis is off the hook in his domestic violence case, according to reports from TMZ. Of course, you already know they're the first ones to get all of this information. They be in the back pockets of everybody. Prosecutors have dropped the charge of misdemeanor battery after one of the mothers of his children, named Vanessa Paso, or Poso, I don't know how you exactly pronounce it, accused him of hitting her. If you recall, last December, Vanessa initially told authorities that the boxer had struck her with a closed hand type slap. Okay, so that would be like a punch, but with the front of your hand, I guess, which caused her an abrasion on the inside of her lip. Following the drama, she later shut down allegations of abuse in a social media post, writing, "While the emotions were high, I made an unnecessary call to law enforcement in an intense moment while I was frantic." So that already gave a lot of people a lot of curiosity, a lot of doubt, and not understanding which side of the fence you really were supposed to sit on. Because of course, when you hear these allegations, you want to hold the person to the fire. But then when you follow up and say it never happened, it definitely raises people's eyebrows to say, well, did it happen or did it not? Are you trying to cover up for this person, or did you initially lie on this person, right? Because you can't really say emotions were high, I made an unnecessary call. That is not accepting accountability for lying, if that's what you did. You know what I'm saying? And this is where things get really touchy, because these types of situations can really make or break a person's entire situation, especially when it comes to entertainers, especially when it comes to the court of public opinion. It's not going to end this person's life. If he were found guilty, I'm sure he would still go back and be successful in the ring. There would still be a lot of support for him for what he does as an athlete, but then there will also be many people out there that did not want to support him because he was charged for domestic violence. But now that he's off, charges have been dropped, which, to be honest, high-profile situations like this, these are not always easy to get thrown under the rug. A lot of people feel like, oh, because he's a boxer, because he's rich and all of this stuff, he got the top-notch lawyers, this was an easy case to get rid of. But no, this happened back in December. We're all the way in, going into June. We're at the end of May now. So this has been an ongoing thing for about 6 months. And in some cases, these things can take even longer, right? Especially once the prosecutors decide that they want to press charges. The alleged victim does not always have the autonomy and the agency to say, I want to drop charges, I've been settled out of court, or whatever. Once the prosecutor decides what they want to do, they may have their own agenda. They may want to pin this person to the cross. So a lot of people don't be understanding how that stuff goes in the courtroom. I'm not going to break it all down. I haven't personally experienced it myself, but I have witnessed it. Moving right along, officials didn't move forward with charging Gervonta because Vanessa did not want to press charges, which led to the dismissal. The parties agreed that the defendant had to complete an anger management course and parenting class. The prosecutors received confirmation Gervonta also completed the courses. This sounds very, very familiar to the situation that I've witnessed. Okay, so when you speak about anger management courses and parenting classes, that would also mean that probably the incident took place in front of children or in the presence of children, right? There's also a lot of people out there that believe that these women that make these accusations or allegations go to the authorities, go through the process of sending a person to trial and all of this type of stuff, or preliminary court hearings and all of that. They believe that the person that lies or recants their statement should have to serve the full sentence of the so-called aggressor, right? So if the person was facing 5 years, 10 years in prison or something like that. There's a lot of people out there that believe, okay, if you lied, then you should have to go serve that time that that person was facing, because you really put an innocent person's life in jeopardy for what? Because of an emotional outburst, because you're emotionally unstable, because you wanted to hurt that person's reputation. All of those things, despite how y'all may not be getting along, those things should not come to a head in that fashion just because you're angry, right? Unless the person really did exactly what you say they're doing, it should never be taken to that level, because once the authorities get involved, yes, a lot of people do get off from domestic violence cases. However, they do, in many cases, even if they didn't do something, it could work in their favor to admit that they did, for reduced sentencing, to not have to go to trial where you facing the full term of your sentence. It's a lot of things that people have to evaluate in these types of situations, and it's just unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Any real victims out there, any people that are really going through this stuff, I think it works in your favor to just stand on all 10 toes, even if that means you have to dismantle a relationship, even if that means that you have to disrupt your lifestyle and, you know what I mean, go back to square one. Y'all know on my channel, I'm very big on telling women, if your celebrity boyfriend breaks up with you, get a fucking job. I've said it on numerous videos. I don't say that to be brisk. I don't say that to be cold. I don't say that to be blunt. I say that to be real. I've had to start over numerous times in my life after making my own mistakes and missteps. So everybody has to face the music when it comes to your decision making, getting a job, getting on the grind, figuring out how to make ends meet on your own. It's going to be more rewarding that way for you as a person, upholding your integrity, upholding your truth, and it's going to allow you to not have to depend on somebody that potentially doesn't even really care about you. They just feel obligated because you have a child with them or whatever that is. Okay, so never be afraid to start over. Never be afraid to get a job, start a business, get a higher education to, better yourself or your situation. Even if that means that standing on 10 toes means that you have to dissolve that connection. I'm not condemning anybody in this video. I'm not victim blaming. I'm not victim shaming in this video. All I'm saying is I'm covering all corners of the spectrum in this conversation. I don't want to say all spectrums because I'm not a lawyer or attorney, but just covering different spectrums in the conversation, trying to offer some perspective and trying to let people know, if it's not legit, if it's not something that you feel strongly about, that you want to stand on 5, 6 months to a year later, perhaps you should think about that. And I know that emotions run high. People make decisions quickly, but think about your future. Think about the other person's future. Think about how things are going to affect you. Think about having to start over and not being afraid of doing so. Like, all of these things need to be going through your mind before you report somebody to the police, to the state, to the district attorneys, to the prosecutors, to all of these types of people, because you just don't know how this thing is going to play out, and you could potentially ruin somebody's life, their livelihood, and their future because you were angry in an instant. That's all I really got to say, man. Let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. If y'all still believe he did it, you can comment that as well. I don't know what to make of all of this. Hopefully everybody got exactly what they deserved in this situation. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one. All right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace. Beautiful people, thank you for tuning in. I hope that you enjoyed the content. Make sure that you're liking and sharing these videos. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit the post notification bell so you get all updates. For all of my artists, my artist managers, songwriters, producers, etc. If you need a little bit of extra help with your career, man, make sure that you visit pengameelite.com, okay? That's my website and my community for all upcoming rising music creators. I got 2 books on there, the Pen Game Portfolio Volume 1 and 2. They're going to give you a lot of insights into the music industry, how to monetize your career, how I make my money off of music, because I am a full-time artist outside of doing YouTube videos. If you need some direct help, you can also book a consultation with me on the Pen Game Elite website, and I also have a Pen Game Elite membership. The free tier gives you access to all of these videos that I post on YouTube and a community of people where you can engage. But I do have the membership plus, okay? You can join that for $50 a month or $500 a year, and I will actually go in and do all of the grunt work for you. If you're not registering your songs on your PROs, if you're not with Song Trust or the MLC, if all your collection agencies and all of that stuff are not up to par subpar or up to date, I will go in there and update all of that for you. If you need help uploading your music to a distributor like DistroKid, United Masters, etc., and you've been making mistakes, you've been claiming content ID on material that you really don't own, hey man, stop stealing people's money. If you do this stuff the right way, you're gonna make it anyway, okay? You can join the membership plus, and again, I will do the work for you, and you're gonna get a free consultation every month just for joining. You're also gonna get the 2 books for free soon as you join the membership plus. All right, much love and respect. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.